Hi, everybody. Jack O'Malley with this Friday update. As always, there's something going on. Want to touch base on several things through this. And by the way, I should mention Wednesday's update. I appreciate all the comments that I got. It's been a rough time, and the last week has been rough for everybody, not just me. But one of the things that I really appreciated and what I thought was interesting, and when I talk about bringing the temperature down, even President Trump, his video from whatever day that was, said the same thing. Let's bring the rhetoric down. Let's bring the harsh talk down. The angry comments on social media breed more of that. And what I noticed just Wednesday, I'll spit it out. What I noticed about Wednesday's comments were they were all well-intentioned. They were all kind, and that bred more kindness. So let's remember that when we're dealing with folks who are upset and angry. Let's help bring that down. Let's be kind to one another. We can still disagree, but we don't have to be vicious because the discussion will continue. So thank you for those nice comments and support from Wednesday. I'm going to run through some information again. There's lots of debate that can be had. I'm going to try and give you the information as I see it. Lots of topics to cover because I didn't cover some of these on Wednesday. One of the things that I want people to really think about is as we move forward, and one of the things that I've heard so far in this whole election process is that we want integrity. We want to know that our vote will count. And one of the things that I know myself and my colleagues have been saying is we are going to investigate and we are going to oversight, which is our job. And there are lots of things that can be done as we move forward. And I can tell you that Speaker Wentworth is already named Representative Ann Boleyn, who is a former clerk, to chair our elections committee, and they are going to begin work. Now, with that, I want you to know that the oversight committees that began looking at election issues last term, which December, issued subpoenas. And we received, I'm told, on Tuesday, hard drives and boxes of records from, I believe it was Livonia, which there was some issues, I guess, and the Detroit area. So that information has arrived, and folks are starting to go through it. So that investigation has begun already. Subpoenas have been issued, and that information's coming in. So I want you to know that we are very, 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 very focused on election integrity and to fix the things that were wrong with the last election. And I believe there is a lot of bipartisan support there. So I just want you to know everybody's focused on this. Everybody in the House and the Senate is looking at how to make sure that we don't have any repeats. And again, if someone is found to be fraudulent or committed fraud, I should say, we'll prosecute them. So we are moving forward. It is happening. Subpoenas issued, information has been sent, already arrived in hands, and is being looked at by our teams and our lawyers. So just know that is happening. I think it's very important. And we can talk more about other issues as we move forward in that debate as they come up. But I want to touch on some things. Another thing that hit the headlines, it goes back to the Flint water crisis. You might have seen that the Attorney General, Dana Nessel, has issued a bunch of indictments on a whole lot of people. One individual in particular is former Governor Rick Snyder, and he is being charged with willful neglect of duty. It is a misdemeanor, 1 year in jail, up to 1 year in jail. And it's really, as I've heard, willful neglect of duty is a very sketchy area to charge someone. And as I heard someone say, it's almost we just want to charge him, so we're going to charge him with that. And I had saw another comment that said, this is a very interesting thing for Dana Nessel to do as Attorney General, because if you're going to charge Rick Snyder with willful neglect of duty, does that open up Governor Whitmer for prosecution by a county prosecutor somewhere with regards to the nursing home incidents. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I throw it out there. It's a discussion point. Today, there was a revenue estimating conference. There's been several of these since the COVID hit. Normally, there's just one in the spring, but this is, I think, our third or fourth because they're trying to set the budget, and we're going to be working on the next budget for 2022 here this spring. And you'll hear that there's some good news in the sense that it's not as bad as it once was or thought it was going to be. So anybody who's talking about, well, it's good news, it's only not as bad as we thought it was going to be. Not that it's good. So as we move forward here, our economy, we're still shortfalling. I believe it's 7 or 8%. It's still 7 or 8% lower or better than what they thought. I think they thought it was going to be about 15%. Our economy would be down about 15%. It's maybe half that. The point is, we're still below where we should be in a normal year. And again, another point. Governor Whitmer opened the economy. Other states are doing it, which is amazing because this is from earlier in the week. You've probably seen it. Governor Andrew Cuomo, one of the locked down New York. He is now saying we simply cannot stay closed until the vaccine hits critical mass. The cost is too high. Welcome to the party, Governor. He said in his address, we must reopen the economy, but we must do it smartly and safely. Sounds like a dang Republican from Michigan. That's what we've been saying all along. He says, without making this move now, Cuomo says he gravely forecasts the state could have nothing left to open. Are you kidding me, Governor Cuomo? Could you get Whitmer on the phone? Can you do it? That's the point. Everything has been fear, and we can reopen our economy. We can let our restaurants and bars and our small businesses, we can do this smartly and safely. Other states have. And going back to that revenue sharing conference, they were talking about, unemployment and the income to the state is down. Well, one of the areas that they say in unemployment that's going to be the slowest to rebound is leisure and hospitality. That's my district, Northwest Michigan, right? One of the areas that hasn't been hit are the higher paying jobs because they can work remotely, but the service and hospitality is in person, and that's been a problem. So Governor Whitmer, you used to sing the praises of Governor Cuomo. Now we'll see if he does it, but he's advocating opening up New York. Maybe you could do it in Michigan too, right? Let's see here. And so the other night I was talking about how frustrating it was that, the courts are ruling in favor of the Department of Health and Human Services rulings. And the bowling alley folks, the restaurant folks have lost. So people want you to do something. What can you do? Pass this law, do this. A couple of counties in the UP have their county commissions and sheriffs have said, and prosecutors said, we're not going to enforce any of this, which is fine. But if you have a license or a permit granted by the state, it could be revoked, so you could still be in trouble. There's all those issues that are there, right? So I do want to end on a positive note. How can we fight back? And we've already seen that Thomas Albert, who is the appropriations chair in the House side, say, hey, we've got, I think it's $3.5 billion coming in federal CARES money. We get to appropriate that. We're in charge because that's what the legislature does, right? So, Governor, if you don't come talk to us, if you don't work with us, we just won't appropriate that. Well, now the governor, of course, says, well, then are you going to let people die in the streets? And, So, ladies and gentlemen, Senator Stamas, who is the chair of appropriations in the Senate, is now signing on. He's agreeing. He's saying, yeah, this is one area where we can hold the governor's feet to the fire. We won't appropriate the funds, right? So I'm telling you this because in the weeks to come, if this becomes a true battle, there's going to be a lot of squawking in the press and from a lot of folks on the governor's side. Oh, the mean Republicans are going to be holding back funds that could be helping people. Well, I would counter that by saying, well, Governor, open up the businesses because you're hurting people that way. So somewhere along the line, we have to draw a line. And I believe the budget is where we can get the governor. And so in the weeks to come, When you see us fighting and tweaking and saying, no, you can't have that money, and the governor starts, oh, we're hurting, Republicans are hurting people, just stand tall, all right? Because this battle has to happen, and we're going to do it. So be advised that that's where we're headed, all right? So next week is the inauguration. And there's lots of talk of safety and this, that, and the other thing. Let's remember, let's keep everybody calm. We'll get through this. We don't want any violence. We don't. If it's a protest, it's got to be peaceful. I have no problem with peaceful protest. I do have problems with violent protest and agitators. So as we move forward, let's stay calm. Cooler heads need to prevail. Protesters are fine. Violent acts are not. So let's move forward. All right. I am, the spirit God gave us did not make us timid. It gives us power, it gives us power, love, and self-discipline. And we move forward with that, right? I will pray for you and our country. And I ask that you pray for all your political leaders, because we are there. We need your prayers more than ever. So with that, to the best, enjoy the weekend. And we are continuing to move forward, because going back ain't the right way. So keep praying. We are in it. We'll talk to you next week. All right? Cooler heads. We got it. Have a good weekend.